You're watching the harshest music review show on the web.
You are in a shit band.
It's At The Music
with Zac and Gotchy.
In Melbourne, famously the most musical city of all time, sometimes it's easy to get lumped in as just another improvised jazz trio reinterpreting 14th century French medieval choral music. However, Food Court, on their debut album Food Court...
That's the other way around, Zac.
Food Court, on their debut album Food Court, aim for Triple J with their interpretation of Soulage's 14th century piece, Fumer, Fume, Pas, Fumer. Matt, are we tired of this kind of thing already?
Well, it's funny that it's actually, from a medieval period. You'd think like a modern revamping like this would have a modern sort of sound, but this, like the first half at least, sounds like court jester music.
Yeah, the second half of the record is so different to the first half as well. The second half's just like ambient and it's some guy like a stockbroker just saying like sell, sell.
This guy Soulage had two different techniques. He had simple melodies, but then he also had these deeply textural sort of pieces.
Sure.
So I think this really achieves both of those ideals.
I kind of loved it and I found it like really hypnotic. I found myself like kind of getting like deep into the sort of sciences, then they kind of bring you back up on this wave and then they pull you out again.
That's right. It's got this great sort of flow to it, the whole album.
I'm going to give it 4 Zacs and a half a Gotchy. I thought this is a really hypnotic record, a really deep and interesting record. And the second half of it, which is just like silence and a guy speaking, is beautiful.
Yeah.
Genuinely interesting.
An incredible ambient work. I'd give it 4 Zacs. If money talks and talk is cheap, then how cheap is money? And what does it have to do with free jazz? Well, Matana Roberts might have the answer on her new record, Queen Queen Chapter 3, River Run Thee. Zac, do you dig?
I dig in a big way. I'm digging deep. This is one of the most dark, gripping, expansive records about slavery. The mixture of like slave songs and kind of her like saxophone playing, her reading out these kind of like stories of slavery.
Oh yeah, like they're like classic American folk tales. There's quotes from Cormac McCarthy interwoven in there.
Just combining them all into this dense 50-minute sound collage.
You feel like you're part of this story, this narrative. And it's sort of, at the same time, it's a rumination, I think, on what it means to be African American in the 21st century as well.
Even though I guess it's a jazz record, she doesn't stick to like natural jazz instrumentation. There's like weird synths coming in.
This one hum
drones.
is so ominous throughout the entire thing.
I know, you genuinely just feel like you're on this, like you're just riding through history. I think it's about as vital a record as I've heard in a long time. I loved it.
Incredibly unique.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm going to go so far as to give it 5 Zacs or even 1 just big Zac.
Wow. Well, I'd like to give it, I guess, 4 Zacs and half a Gotchy.
Any dickhead can make music, but only a few dickheads can win awards for it. Be it the consistently pathetic Grammy Awards or the nationally embarrassing ARIA Awards. So when Mercury Award nominee East India Youth didn't win last year, he should have done the right thing and lit himself on fire. He didn't, he made a new album. But Matt, is it going to win any awards?
Yeah, I think this is a great pop album, especially for a guy in his bedroom, sort of creating this quite authentic stadium sound with just, some synths, some drum pads, a bunch of samples.
It's such like an unabashed pop record, so many big pop hits, but it's very much like a pop record from like a different time. It's very much this like 80s English Pet Shop Boys.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, sort of like ding, 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 sort of pop music.
Never has it felt so, I guess, faithful to how ridiculous the genre was, and yet at the same time quite serious.
I read a brutal review of this record that just ripped it to shreds. And I can see why people would hate it, particularly because he does like techno numbers, which is sort of like the sacred cow of electronic music.
Yeah, you can't casually dip into techno.
You can't be a preppy schoolboy who does synth pop numbers who also throws some techno numbers on your album. No. But he's good at it, and his techno numbers are good, and his production is good.
I think some of the production is a little bit underwrought, and you can certainly tell that it is made in his bedroom. It's incredibly catchy though at the end of the day. I have to give it 3 Zacs and half a Gotchy.
I think I'm gonna give it that extra half a Gotchy just to get the Gotchys out of there. And I actually reckon on a good day this is a 4 Zac. Next week on At the Books, we look at Bryce Courtney's The Power of One.
And we kick off our new segment, Memorable Speeches in Style, with the Gettysburg Address.
We love books!